After years and countless seasons of watching Whitney Thore, we all know that Whitney can be pushy and bossy at times, but this time she has totally overstepped her bounds. Hey there, it's Trishy, and I'm thrilled to have you back for another round of Tea with Trishy. Thank you for sharing this tea time with me. Let's get into today's tea. As you may have heard, Whitney's mom, sweet, lovable Babs Thore, passed away on December 7th, 2022. I did a sympathy video for the family about Babs, which I will link in the description below. We learned that Babs had another stroke and passed while the entire family was there holding her hands. Like all of us, we always wish for one more day. Glenn, Whitney, and Hunter were wishing for one more day. Whitney did take control of the funeral and the arrangements, which was probably a good thing, because sweet Glenn was so in shock he never thought he would ever not be a day without his sweet Babs. He was in no place to be able to take care of the arrangements. Dear Glenn was feeling a heavy heart and second-guessing himself about taking Babs off of life support, even though that was Babs' wishes to not be on life support. Whitney was very encouraging and letting him know that he did the right thing. He said he just needed time to deal with it. In season 11, episode 1, it was all about the funeral. It was such a very sad episode. It broke my heart to watch, and I almost didn't because my aunt just passed away a couple of weeks ago and we were preparing for her funeral, but I felt like I should be there watching out of respect. I know none of us wants to go to funerals, but we all go out of respect and support of the family. So with tears in my eyes, I watched the entire episode. They had a beautiful service for Babs, and it was very emotional. Now, although I was proud of Whitney stepping up and taking control of all the funeral and memorial arrangements, she took it a bit too far with this one. After Babs' passing, sweet Glenn didn't want to immediately return to his big home he shared with Babs, which is understandable. That is when Whitney stepped in and allowed her dad to come live with her until he was ready to return home. That's not the bad part. This is the most horrible thing I think Whitney has ever done. Within a month after sweet Babs passed away, Whitney took it upon herself and went into her parents' home without Glenn and cleaned out all of their things. She never even consulted Glenn at all. She didn't even give him a chance. When she shares with her daddy Glenn, she assures him that she cleaned it all out, but she kept the important things. Now my question is, how does she know what's important to Glenn? Important to her would not be the same thing as what is important or memorable for Glenn. Then later in the episode, you see Glenn go into his home after Whitney's clean out of his home. And he sadly said he wished she hadn't emptied out the closet because there were things in there he wished he had. This was so terrible and heartbreaking. I do not think Whitney should have crossed this line. Glenn should have totally been involved in the cleaning of Babs' belongings, and it should have been done on Glenn's time, not Whitney's time. What do you think, besties? Did Whitney cross the line with this one? If you like this video, I know you will enjoy this one. I'll see you there.